So a few weeks ago, I was able to score a designer bag that I've been looking for quite some time. It's not that they're inaccessible, it's just that they're a little expensive. And I don't recommend searching for bags the way that I did, but I was able to find this bag on an app called OfferUp. If you're not familiar, it's kind of like Mercari in a way that it's a local app where you can buy and sell just about anything. So I saw this posting for this YSL Kate clutch, gorgeous. The pictures were anything but. They were blurry, cropped, and just checked off all the boxes for a fraudulent listing. The price was $150. All you saw was like a picture of the emblem and then a picture of the logo on the inside, and then not really much detail. So first thing I did was, I was bored, I'm quarantined, I had nothing to do, so I asked this person, hey, will you go down to 100 instead of 150? And they said yes. It's another red flag. So I asked them for more pictures, and they took a few weeks to get me pictures too, which was perplexing. If you're trying to scam someone or make a quick buck when you think you'd want to get it done with. So he finally messaged me more pictures with the details I was asking for, just the stitching, a little bit of the inside of the bag. And again, they were super cropped and dark and blurry. But I said, you know what, whatever. I need to go grocery shopping anyway. I need to get out. So yeah, I've got cash, I'll meet you. So we met, and I looked at the bag first, of course, and I have done quite a bit of research on on fakes versus authentic YSL bags. And when I got this in my hand, I knew it was real. It checked off all the boxes of an authentic bag, including the interweaving on the emblem between the Y, S, and the L. All of that is correct. And I'll put that in the description, so that you know what to look for. This stitching is another thing that you want to look for. It was absolutely pristine. There's going to be no mistakes. These are expensive bags. This retails for about $1,245 before taxes. So this is very thick, sturdy leather, phenomenal stitching. Then I open the bag. The next thing I notice is the fonts are all correct on the logo on the inside. And again, I'll put all these details in the description so you know what to look for. Then I noticed it came with all the cards that you get when you buy this in the store. I opened that up, and don't get me wrong, they will still fake these as well. But there's certain things that you can look for in these to ensure that they're authentic. I won't go through all of those, but so working my way down my checklist to make sure this is an authentic bag. I can't show you this, but on the inside it has the Saint Laurent Paris logo embossed on a leather patch, and it's in gold, and then underneath that will be dark embossed, made in Italy, so that's great. And that is also sewn onto a leather patch that acts as a pocket. And that's another thing you want to look for with these bags, is they will always have that patch sewn to another patch that makes a pocket. And then you feel on the inside of that flap, the inside of that pocket, and you will feel the identification number on the inside. It's way too dark in there for me to even try and look at what that is. But just that it's there means a lot. So I asked this kid, whose bag is this? Where did you get it? This was like a 14, 15-year-old kid. And he's in the passenger seat of this car when we met up. And he's like, oh, it's my sister's. It was a gift to her. She doesn't need it anymore. So I handed him this envelope of cash, and I drove off like I stole it, because this is 100% an authentic bag. It is very sturdy, pebbled leather. The pebbling is nice and tiny. It gives a very lovely texture. I feel like it can fit a ton in it compared to most clutches too. So like, here's my big Too Faced highlighter box, which I never take highlighter with me anyway, but just for example's sake. Here's my AirPod case. Let's stick that in there. Let's try to fit these 3 lip colors in here because I do end up carrying a lot of them for some reason. Here's my favorite scent. This is also YSL. It's called Black Opium. I live by this scent. I love it so much. And a little goes a long way with this. I've had it since December and it's not even halfway gone. I got this for myself as like a Christmas present. I can fit that in here comfortably. And if you arrange things right, you can fit even more than that. I'm filming on my phone, so I won't, I can't put my phone in there, but that could fit as well and still comfortably close. Now, as far as carrying goes, if you're not used to like holding on to something like this all night, then I would recommend like getting, I've seen people get like a long, nice chain and maybe wrap the chain around, you know, loop it through here. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. It's not the most efficient. You have to be careful when you open up the bag so that it doesn't fly off the chain, but then you're able to kind of carry it like an actual bag instead of a clutch. I think the way that I would walk around and carry this is more like this. That way you're cradling it, you're not crushing it. I've seen some people carry them just all day like this. I wouldn't do that. It is really sturdy leather, but doing that after a while is just going to put indentions in the leather. I wouldn't worry about color transfer because this is black, but I am just really meticulous when it comes to things like this. I'm buying these as investment items. I have an antique store, so I'm quite used to you know, identifying what's going to have a good return. Something like this is, but like no matter what I sold it for, I bought it for $100. You know, anything I make on this is a plus. But I think I'm going to keep this because there's absolutely no way that I would ever run into a bag like this for $100 again. And it is simple, it's classic, it's absolutely my style. So, and the way I like to dress is like, as you can see, like I wear a lot of vintage band tees and, you know, just kind of like plain jeans. So a lot of what I wear is really down dress, but I'll up dress it with you know, higher end accessories, and this is the prime example of that. So I almost didn't even want to share this story with anyone because I really don't recommend looking for bags that way, because if you don't have a trained eye with it, and I'm by no means an expert, I just did a lot of research on this bag in particular, it's easy to make a mistake and, you know, possibly lose out on a lot of money. And with the times that we're in right now, with everybody having lost their jobs and stuff, like you really don't want to take a gamble like that. But this was kind of a once in a lifetime, I feel like once in a lifetime opportunity to get something like this nice and this cheap. So you know, just take what I'm saying as just like a nice fun story. Learn from, you know, some of the tips that I give you in the description on how to identify fakes and authentic bags. And if you do choose to go on some of these apps and gamble with some of these sellers, just make sure that you know what you're getting first and don't hand anybody money until you know that what you've got in your hands is authentic.